It's the reason why people said Derek White will be second team this year. It's the reason why throughout the last 3 seasons, Big Ox, me, a couple other people have been saying Derek White used to carry Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
We did not believe that the Celtics were going to be in the lottery. We did not say that. We actually had an argument that they're going to win 45 games this year. We said that in the offseason that they were going to do that. That's actually what happened. But, shout out. The Celtics have been a top 10 team in like a lot of their performance metrics, and then they're playing like a top 15 now. So shout out number three in the Eastern Conference. They have the top 5 offense this year, Chill. Who knew that Joe Mazzulla can coach?
We all knew that Joe Mazzulla could coach. Yes, we did. He's not a product of just having great players. No, they still play the same way that they played when they had Jason Tatum. They still played the same way that they had when they had Jrue Holiday. I mean, don't get me wrong. Guys like Simons are not defenders, but guys like Gonzalez, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, those dudes still compete on the defensive end. Queta has absolutely turned into a player. I mean, don't get me wrong. When they first got him, I thought he was a project, no question about that. And I thought that, as time went on, I did think that I thought that he needed Al Horford for a little while longer, but the finishing around the rim has gotten a lot better. He can have better hands, but the rebounding has gotten better. The rim protection has gotten a lot better. And I think Joe Mazzulla has done a great job with coaching this group. They still shoot the long ball with the best of them. And they still play great defense. 100% they do. Like we were having a conversation, Swipe, a couple of days ago. We were having a conversation a couple of days ago about first team All NBA. And I think we got to start talking about Jaylen Brown.
No.
I do. Yes.
No.
Yes, we absolutely do.
No. I don't think we need
Derek White's on his own team. But,
that's facts.
Derek White's second team. Jaylen Brown first team.
They're being carried by their offense right now. Their offense is playing very similarly to they did last year. They're still shooting 47% of their three or shots from three this year. They're not hitting them with the same rate right now, but I think that should be an alert for everybody else that when they do start hitting their threes consistently, which they might have over the last 5 games, they're shooting 36.9% on the year. And then again, like I said, 47% of their shots are coming from three. That's the 4th most in the NBA right now. Mm-hmm. So they are an offensive team. Their defense has been mid for most of the year, but you don't need to be able to guard. I think when you're playing that kind of basketball in a regular season, Joe Mazzulla has a lot of young players that are not household names at all, believing in the games. They've actually crafted a lot of their offense around how to get the best out of the skill sets that Queta has and like Jordan Walsh and them has. These are not like standalone great players, but what happens is if you contribute to a system, even like just Minot and Shireman and Anthony Simons and Sam Hauser, when you get them to buy into an identity and into a system, and then you find a way to put them in the best situation possible. Look, the three ball, it's really equalized what the NBA is. You don't have to have a lot of talent to be able to win games in the NBA, because if you can find a way to win the math game, which is layups, dunks, 3-pointers, you give yourself a great chance every single night.
Swipe, they lead the league in threes. They lead the league in threes this year again.
Yeah, it's the math game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
does that surprise you though, Chill?
Yes, it does.
Why?
Do you remember in the offseason when I was telling you with this collection of guys, and this was the sole reason, it was 2 reasons why I said this team would be competitive. One, because I just believe in Jaylen Brown. I believe in Peyton Pritchard. I believe in Derek White, Sam Hauser, the group of guys that won a championship that heavily contributed. I just believed in those guys. You don't just win a championship because you just win a championship. I know there were other guys there, but each and every one of those guys that I just mentioned contributed heavily over the last 3 seasons to the success of the Boston Celtics.
But the guys that you just mentioned, Ron, those are the other guys, which I can appreciate you believing in those other guys, but the main guys were gone. Like Peyton Pritchard, he's a rotation guy. Sam Hauser, he's a rotation guy, right?
Peyton Pritchard was the 6th man of the year.
But he still was a rotation guy.
He was not a chill.
Even if he is the best rotation player in the game, he's still a rotation guy, no doubt about that. And they do rely on him, but they don't rely on him as much as they rely on Jrue Holiday. They don't rely on him as much as they rely on Jason Tatum. They don't rely on him as much as they rely on Porzingis. So when you losing guys like Al Horford, right? When you losing guys like that, that's a way bigger deal than depending on Sam Hauser and Peyton
that's the
Pritchard.
difference between winning 64 games and 45 games.
And I'm thinking
They're
45
going to win more than
games.
45 games. So
Well, I remember that was the bar I put it. I said I think they're going to win around 45 games going into the season. I think the difference is the Eastern Conference, you know, where things are. Obviously, we'll talk about Franz and all that a little bit later. But like, I just think it's normalized for them enough to where they can compete for home court advantage still this year in the playoffs. Now, Chi, I don't know, maybe if that makes you feel differently about Jason Tatum. Maybe if I don't know if it's making you be a little bit more defensive about the Celtics. It's just like Tatum is a ceiling raiser for this team. Like, he brings them into championship contention. But I think what Mazzulla is proving is the floor of this team is their offense. Mazzulla is the actual floor. Like, he has truly been able to get elite offense out of a brand new supporting cast for the most part, missing, 3 of their 5 best players.
But
last
it's not
season,
brand new.
No,
I don't
no,
understand.
I'm not saying
why
brand.
are you guys we're acting like
you
Derek
guys.
White, it's a reason why people said Derek White will be second team this year. It's a reason why throughout the last 3 seasons, Big Ox, me, a couple other people have been saying Derek White used to carry Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So we're discrediting what Derek White has did over the last 3 seasons?
No, we're not.
He was in Joe Mazzulla's offense literally last year, making 7 threes a game, 8 threes a game on any given night, 30 balls with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, and Kristaps Porzingis. Derek White didn't go anywhere. Jaylen Brown won Finals MVP a couple seasons ago, and during that other Finals run that they were on, went crazy throughout that. He didn't go anywhere. Peyton Pritchard has been a bucket off the bench, and we all knew Peyton Pritchard should have got more minutes. We all knew Peyton Pritchard was overqualified for what he was doing. Now he finally has an opportunity to show it. Oh, and by the way, they got a guy who was a first option for the Portland Trailblazers for multiple years. Average
terrible on defense, Ron.
Years.
Who's awful on defense. And don't tell me that it doesn't matter, because this Boston Celtic team, one of the main reasons why they were as good as they were,
like it's mattering.
They had no, it
doesn't look like it's mattering.
But the reason why it doesn't look like it's mattering is because of their offense and because of the job that Joe Mazzulla is doing. That's why it doesn't look like it's mattering. But when we're talking about defense, Anthony Simons is one of the worst defenders in the game. And when you're talking about this Boston Celtics, but here's the difference. He's not going to win the game on defense. And Derek White won the game. He's going to win them game on offense. Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, they won these guys games on defense with rebounding the basketball. With this Boston Celtic team losing the core guys that they lost. Ron, do you forget they won the NBA championship with these dudes? And to lose all of these guys, to lose Porzingis, to lose Jason Tatum, to lose Horford, to lose Drew Holiday, to think that, we could actually be a top 5 seed in the East again, I don't think that says anything about the East being weak more than it says maybe the Celtics are better than what I thought that they were. Maybe Joe Mazzulla is doing a better job coaching this group in terms of talent. Maybe he's doing a better job than I thought that he was. Because I don't think that there's
there. It's there. I don't know why. See, Chill, I hate to have to do this, but it's clear as day what this is, Chill. It's clear as day what this is. You had an agenda that's a secret agenda, and this is the Jason Tatum thing. It's clear as day, Chill. Chill. And this is no knock to Tatum. These other guys were just good all along. Yeah, Jason Tatum was the best out of them. But the other guys were really, really, really good.
But this good, though, Ron? I mean, I didn't know that they would be winning like this.
To be fair, somebody told you going into the season they'll be this good, and you push back. But I'm saying, like, they have a formula. Like, you and Chill, you know more than, well, not you know more than others, but you know among the community. When you are able to generate good looks and your offense is predicated on generating the best math outcome possible, you win games in the regular season. And they have a lot of talent still. They still have a lot of talent. Like, I think that the thing that people were, again, this is where I think Mazzulla deserves credit, Ron, which was what I was saying. It's not about a new system per se, but I do think Joe Mazzulla being able to get this out of this bunch without having KP, Drew, and obviously Jason Tatum, I think this speaks to the culture that he's been able to obviously breathe into the Boston Celtics and be able to continue to reinvigorate new life into them despite the losses, despite their best player being out. They're competitive in damn near every game, Ron. And I think that's important we have a baseline of expectations here. This is how we play. You're going to buy into this system. I'm going to put you in the best position possible. And now they got a bunch of people that, like I said, like Kata and them, like they're rotation players, but they're stepping into brand new roles this year, and they're truly exceeding, man. Like they're doing a great job.
But if you look back, if you look back in history and you look back at what teams have done, and again, I look at what this Boston Celtic team had to win the NBA championship. To lose that much, Ron, you think this is an agenda? This is not just about Jason Tatum. This is about what they've lost in totality. That's what this is about. This isn't about just losing Jason Tatum. Losing your best player is a big deal. I'm not going to argue that point. But losing Drew Holiday, your best perimeter defender, losing your best rim protector. Now you got it. Now I'm asking Kata to play more minutes. I'm asking him to be more of a rebounder. I'm asking him to be more of a bucket getter. This is a project, by the way. This isn't a guy who's just basically waiting to be that. No, he's still in his project stage. With that being said, these guys, I already knew who Sam Hauser was as a long ball shooter. I also knew who he was as a defender, but he was also that, like Pritchard, in a rotation role. Now you asking these guys to do more. I wasn't expecting it to be this. Ron, they're the number 3 seed right now. If the season ended today, they're hosting a playoff series. I had them as a play-in team, maybe making the playoffs. I did not think that they would be this good considering everything that they lost, not just the one guy that they lost. I'm talking about everything that they lost.
Well, to be fair, the Cleveland Cavaliers are disappointing you. That's your other team. The 76ers are 13-10. The Atlanta Hawks are 14-11. They've run into a rush past the games here recently. But, I mean, I think that it's mostly because the teams that we thought were going to be near the top, a couple of them have slid. And I think that the Boston Celtics, they fill the void. But also, too, I want to be fair to Boston because a lot of people, even when they're like 9-8, people were saying that they will look at them like, they're a 500 team. They're not that good. But again, if you just look at like all the stuff that you look at for OKC, for the Rockets, for Denver, the Knicks, they were performing super well, like on a lot of the like tell-all. Like this is actually how good this team is. They were top 10 for most of the year. Now they're performing damn near top 6, top 7. So they just have like, they're still really good. Like they're not going to be a team that's going to go to the NBA finals. But I mean, that doesn't really matter. Like the fact that you're still this good without your best player and missing 2 rotational players, I think that speaks to, like I said, just how good they will be when Jason Tatum comes back next year.
Mars, how are you feeling about the Celtics right now?
Good. They're good. Pleasantly surprised by the effectiveness of their offense. Defensively, haven't been great. I think you see the fall off when Cater's not on the court. Front court depth is lacking when you go to guys like Luka Garza and Chris Boucher and whatnot. So obviously a flawed team. I like that they've made more of an emphasis to crash the offensive glass this year, trying to make up some of the margins where they may fall behind talent-wise if you get extra possessions. It's a good philosophy to have. I think they're 7th in offensive rebound rate this year compared to like 20th last year. So definitely an emphasis. One surprising thing, and that's why I don't fully believe that they're still playing the analytics game and whatnot. They're like 2nd in the league in mid-range volume, well, like long mid-range volume. Major part because of Jaylen Brown, and like that's why he's
say that has everything to do with Jaylen Brown.
But like they were like near the bottom of the league in that last year, and they're like 2nd only behind Sacramento in like these long twos that they take. They're still very high.
Mars, can I ask you something? So does that mean that Jason Tatum, a lot of the time the excuse was, well, in this system, you got to put up 13 threes. So is it that the system was making Jason Tatum shoot that many threes, or Jason Tatum used the system as a reason to justify himself taking that many step back threes?
I don't know. I feel like Jaylen Brown is just better in the mid range than Tatum was, so it just made more sense.
Wait, what, Mars? Wait, one more time.
Jaylen Brown is a better mid range player than Jason Tatum. Yeah, I think everyone would agree with that. So I just think it made more sense for a guy like Jason Tatum to probably convert a lot of his mid range looks into threes.
Hey, Ron, are you looking to start some shit, Ron? Because I don't think he on some bullshit by saying that. No.
Jaylen Brown is
best. Jaylen Brown plays better in the mid range than Jason Tatum. 100%.
Does he play better than Shea?
Does Jaylen Brown play better than Shea in the mid range? No, he does not.
Yes.
No.
Okay. All right.
Just
checking
on
some things.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Jaylen Brown. But yeah, I think that's a big difference from this season to last season. Just seeing the different approach in terms of the mid-range stuff. They still don't get to the rim a whole lot. I think they're still bottom of the league in that department, actually. But them overcoming a more inefficient shot diet based on all the mid-range stuff and still being an elite offense because of Jaylen Brown's mid-range proficiency, because of the guys shooting proficiency. They're also bottom of the league in corner 3 frequency. So like pretty much they're only shooting above the break threes, which has its strengths
On the
and
right wing, by the way.
drawbacks.
On the right wing, that's what they love.
So it's very weird seeing that because like last year they were 10th. So just watching all of those things unfold is cool. But yeah, I think they're good. Do I think they're gonna win the Eastern Conference? No. But to anyone who had them making the playoffs this year, I think you're gonna be right. Like playoffs without the play-in, I think you're gonna be right. Will they have home court? I don't know. We'll wait and see. But they're playing better than I thought they would, particularly offensively. So I give them full credit for that.
Like Mark said, I'm pleasantly surprised. I thought they were going to be, like a 7 seed or 8 seed maybe. So I'm pleasantly surprised. I mean, I expect this from Jaylen Brown. I just didn't expect the team to be good, So we'll see what happens. This is one of those things we got to wait and see. I don't think they're going to finish in the 3 seed though. I still think that as the season goes on, they'll drop more to that 6-7 area though.
6-7. Hopefully injuries don't. The injury bug doesn't bite them because I'd like to see what this Celtic team can really do if they just stayed healthy enough. Because then there won't be any logic of, well, if you had this guy, if you had that guy. Nah, if these guys can stay healthy and they end up with a top 5 seed in the East, I mean, I think it says a lot about the job that Coach Mazzulla is doing. I'm being honest with you, of the teams in the league, I don't know if there's anybody that's doing a better coaching job than Coach Mazzulla right now. I don't. I think he's doing the best coaching job in the league right now. I think that was Spo.
JB Bickerstaff.
Well, they were around, but it's cool.
Jordan up.
Yeah.
I just think that I think that would. Who?
Go ahead.
Keep going, Chill. Keep going.
What I was saying was, Ox, with Spo, we already know Spo is the X and O guy, right? We already know that. I think that with the addition of what's the coach's name from Memphis that just came over?
Timothy? 2-0.
Yeah, I think with the
Liam. Yeah, 2-0.
He's the one who sped their offense up. He's the one who
Lisolo.
That's the Memphis coach, but the one who's in Miami is Noah something.
Oh.
I can't remember.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He's the one who sped their offense up. So I mean, I think that we have to add that into what's going on in Miami. That's not to take away from what Spo does. I'm not going to argue that point. But I mean, as far as Joe Mazzulla, to lose everything that he's lost over the course of the year, and then still be as viable as they are, man, I think Jaylen Brown lead the league in twos. If I'm not mistaken, I think he leads the league in
the league where Giannis exists.
Something like I think he leads the league in two, something like that, right? So, and with that being said, this is a team that didn't get down, that didn't get to the basket, that didn't play in the mid range. It was either shoot the long ball, get to the basket sometime, shoot the long ball, get to the basket sometime.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown, 361 2-point attempts a game, and then number 2,
that handle has gotten tighter, that mid range has gotten tighter. The fact that the ball moves a lot more. I mean, I really like what Joe Mazzulla is doing with this crew.
Chill, Jaylen Brown really wanted in. I don't know how else I can explain it to you and how many times I got to tell you this, Chill. This ain't no gimmick. This is what Jaylen Brown does. This is another day in the office for Jaylen Brown.
Talk to him, Mox.
He really wanted in.
Finals player of the year.